And here is Josh Barnes.
And that ball is up in the air. Darby rises high and gets tapped to it first. Down into the pack, Darby goes in after it. She's tackled, she drops it, slaps the ball away. Picked up by a Hawthorn player out there in the sun. It's going to be fun today. Good
fun in the sun.
Good fake handball out to Watton, who kicks the ball off the instep towards Crockett Grills, whose short pass is almost intercepted. Bit of a sloppy start to things and a tackle. Oh, ball's thrown out. Just gets out to McDonald. Characteristic two-hand drop and marked in the back line for Hawthorn.
So we're going to have some struggles with the team that's kicking towards us because the numbers will be very hard for us to see. The Hawks taking the ball out across into the centre. Good cut off in the middle, almost taken. Umpire says no, you didn't hold on to it there, Kate Darby. So the ball spills out, coming towards us now for the Hawks. Hand pass back into the centre. Two Cats players get in the road of each other. One of those is Crockett Grills. She'll be determined to play well against her old side today here at Box Hill City Oval. We can even see the scoreboard today. That's exciting. Where we used to broadcast from here, you couldn't see the scoreboard because they put a goalpost in the road, but that's okay. We can tell you how many points, but no, not how many goals. Picked up now, could be Dyatt there in the centre, and the umpire says I'll come in and ball it up. 20-minute quarters here on the VFLW games. No time on played. Ball goes up in the centre. Tapped down this time by Bentley, I think, doing the ruck work. No, I beg your pardon, it was Watton. Watton got more tap-outs last week than any other player in the competition last week, so she's certainly going to give them some drive, and Kate Darby's going to have her work cut out for her.
She is, and my arms are going to be sore from holding it up to block the sun throughout the day. As Darby won that one down, I would say, but the ball hasn't gone very far. Players diving over it. We're still in the centre square by the looks of things.
Ball hasn't been out of the centre square yet, has it?
It made its way to the wing and then back.
Yeah.
We'll have another ball up on the point of the square. Geelong kicking to the northern end. Is that the southern end or the northern end?
That's the northern end, mate.
Maybe the northern end. That's why I said it.
Yep.
Breaking through here, though, the Hawks. Chance for them to go forward. We'll get the ball in towards the inside 50 for the first time. Good mark in front. That was well taken. It might have been Van Dyke.
And I think it's Emily Gilder. But
give it to her then. And her kick is excellent. Oh, it's dropped, though. That was Dyatt dropping that. A good follow-up tackle. Ball down at ground level now. Goring, Cranston handballs forward for Geelong. Plays fighting over it. The ball's not going very far, despite the efforts. We're going to have another ball up. We're about 25 metres out from the Hawthorn goal.
I'll tell you what we should do. I think we should have a...
an injury here. It looks like
injury,
Gilder.
yes. It looks like it might be Emily Gilder. I think we should ask the coaches if we could just play in the one half of the ground because it's a lot easier to see them when they're percent. Gilder looks like she's not so much injured the lower half of the body. It might be just a bit winded. She's getting up now. Didn't see what happened.
Yeah. She was very slow to move.
But she's coming off the ground now. Rob Cameron is over there. He'll no doubt have some idea of what's going on for us very, very soon. Ball goes up. It's Luke this time against Darby. Darby gets the tap down. Picked up, though, by the Hawks. Thrown onto the boot. That time it might have been Dyatt. Dyatt didn't get the kick. It ends up in the hands of Cranston, and they are away. The Cats ball kicked down into the forward line. It's going to be a foot race. Tapped forward almost that time by Horsdorfer, the 23rd player. She can't get to it, and the ball is going to be balled up in the centre. Pepper Randall picked it full back and right down in the centre, so she's got a bit of a run on her hands to get, not run on her hands obviously, to get back to where she's going to be.
So ball kicked away from the clearance. Geelong have the numbers at the back here, so they should be able to clean this up and launch an attack. Pearce handballs forward. 50th game today, according to Arj. Pearce picks it up again.
He's all over it.
He would have seen them all. Handball forward to Madison Maguire. Her left foot ball is going to go out of bounds on the full. That'll be a free kick to Hawthorn on about the 50-metre line.
So don't forget, of course, if the ball goes out of bounds off a kick or a hand pass between the two arcs, it is a free kick to the opposition side, the last possession rule. This time picked up by Bevan. Bevan kicks around the body, and that one, there's no question in the world, that has almost gone over the fence on the full, and a free kick will be taken out there. It would be Beck Pearce for the Cats, and tell you what, it's nice that sun's going behind a cloud, and the fact I remember my sunglasses, that helps a lot. Kicked forward by Pearce onto the half-forward flank. Player in front there for the Hawks, couldn't control the ball, running over the back this time, and out of bounds. It might have been Rowe, might have been Vanderhoovel, in fact, who tapped the ball out of bounds, and it will be thrown in right in front of the coach's box.
Neil, I can report Emily Gilder has probably had just a little bit of a smack on the ground and sort of spasms through her upper back and shoulder area. She's just clearing her head and neck at the moment. She'll be fine very shortly.
You're a good man, Robert Cameron, brought to us, of course, by GB Foods. Coming to you in a moment, Elise, to get your thoughts on what has been so far a very uneventful 5 minutes. Ball tapped down, picked up almost that time by Darby. It's a long way for her to reach down compared with some of the other players. Quick kick forward by the Hawks. Running onto it now for the Cats, though, is Kerrick. Kerrick gets it off now to McDonald. McDonald now kicks forward by Pearce, deep into the forward pocket. Coming out to meet the ball for the Hawks was Beeson. She kicks the ball back, but that also is out of bounds and touched out of bounds. With thanks to our friends at Wilson's Wine Tours. Come out and play Wilson's Wine Tours. Here is Elise.
Really appreciating the tackling effort here. It might be uneventful, but both teams having a bit of it, or just sort of scuffling for it in the first few minutes. So this first goal, whoever kicks it, will be important.
Cranston got the clearance, quick handball up, running through the 50 now. The Cats, can they get a shot on goal? Snapped across by Van der Heuvel, and it's cleared the girl on the line. No touch.
Not touched.
I thought it got over, but it didn't. Touch through for the first score of the day.
Bonnie Energy point of the day, that one.
Yes, a good team play getting through there. It looks like Cranston's playing more up on the ball today, which is interesting to give a bit more of a run around and get a taste for it. Hawks trying to clear it out the 50. That's going to be marked, though.
You better say that point was brought to you by Strawberry Seed Consulting, because we haven't been able to use the scoreboard so far. We've played 6 minutes.
So Pearce's kick inside 50 is a turnover. She's had plenty of the ball so far, Pearce. Apparently played for the New York Magpies as well during her career, Beck Pearce.
That's
which is
interesting.
interesting. Geelong getting the intercept here across the forward line. Taken back the other way, though, by Hawks, and the ball is kicked out to nobody. This is a foot race. A bit of a chip and charge here. Who's going to get over there first? Looks like the Cats will be the first there.
Emily Ramsey got there first, I think you'll find.
Ramsey handled it forward, looking for Woolett. Couldn't get it. Players driving in over it. This has worked out for Hawthorn. They got the numbers over there quickly. Clearing kick, though, by Van der Heuvel goes towards the boundary line. Had to come off a boot, kept inside. It's hard to tell when we can't even see the lines out there at the moment.
Yes, the sun isn't in the best position, isn't it? But the good news is it looks like it's going up out over the top of the balcony shortly. That'll be good. Picked up that time. It might have been Laura Taylor, who's in, I think, this week. She didn't play last week, I don't think. Ball kicked forward off the ground by the Cats. Down on her hands and knees looking for it. I think that might have been Pearce. And the ball is just bouncing around half-back flank. Picked up now by Goring. She can't get rid of it. And the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Half-back flank. In front of the tree. I've called football here for 8 years and I've got no idea what sort of tree that is, and everyone just tells me it's a roadside Australis.
Green.
Yeah, it's the prominent tree in the forward pocket for those of you who know the ground.
It's doing better than the jumping castle.
It is, isn't it? It's the jumping castle there, is it?
It's
yes.
gone flat.
Yeah, yes. I promised Rob that there'd be a jumping castle. I didn't tell him that there would be no air in it.
Somebody went in there with their shoes on, I think.
Good times. Good afternoon to you, Brendan Hooper, if you're having listened. It used to be known as Rashman's Jumping Castle, and the Rashman part of our team before. Free kick being paid. It's going to go to Kate Darby, playing in the ruck today. No, it's going, in fact, going sideways, and it's going to be to Cranston.
She was thrown away without the ball, Cranston, and her kick goes dangerously close to the boundary line. Picked up by Radden. Her handball's intercepted. Love cruising through.
Sounds like a country and western song too, doesn't it? You can't say anything about her without sounding like a country and western song, can you?
But her kick went out of bounds on the full, so we've had 3 out of bounds on the full already. Not even considering any last touch rules. Kicked down the line. Cranston thought about it, then backed off. Went over her head. Charged inside the 50 now. Kicked off the ground by the Hawks. They're trying to get some yardage. Picked up and tackled. Quick snap was smothered. And we'll have another ball in.
A free kick being paid to the Cats. It was McDonald who was dealt with after the ball spilled away. Well, thanks to GB Foods. Robert Cameron, what do you got? Nothing.
Yep.
No, he's gone to get to the bar by the sound of it. So poor kick by McDonald, and finds her opposition player in the forward pocket, looking for Maddie Boyd, I think, that time, but couldn't get there to her. So the ball now coming inside 50. That's a great kick. Wasn't able to be marked that time by Sibley. So it spills. Hand pass over the back. It's a dangerous hand pass, but Van der Heuvel made it look good. Gets now off to Woolett. Woolett kicks it down the middle of the ground, and Foot Race City is on. It's how the bounce and how the run-on goes. 2 Cats ran into one another. And so the Hawks were able to get the ball, kicking it out wider now, looking for Georgia Bevan. She's got a player in the forward pocket. It's the young player in Taya Kelly. She couldn't control the ball, but she gets back, has a shot at it, and kicks it and finds her teammate in Tamara Luke. Great piece of work by the young girl, playing her first game today. And with thanks to our friends at Wilson's Wine Tours. Talk us through that one, please. Elise Sotzis.
Yeah, that first inside 50 entry from that was almost marked by Jessica. That was Bet Goring's direct opponent, and she was a little filthy with herself that she almost got a goal.
Well, the Hawks do have a goal, and that goal goes to Tamara Luke. And really great piece of work there by Taya Kelly, Barnesy.
Yeah, absolutely. Her first touch. She couldn't quite grab the mark, but she was very quick onto her feet, following it up in a second effort. Picked up and made the right decision, kicked into the dangerous spot. Luke just cruised in at the perfect time. Timed her run brilliantly. Good bit of piece of play. They're holding their width, I think, at the moment, the Hawks, which is good to see. Keeping some numbers on the outside and finding some space. I think that was Bevan on the outside that got the ball inside 50. And they're using that loose player quite well at the moment.
Around the grounds with thanks to our friends at GoRadio.live. It looks like almost half time down at Trevor Barker Beach Road Oval. 31 Southern Saints, Williamstown 6. Ball tapped down this time by Tanner, doing some ruck work. Doesn't go anywhere. Umpire says we'll ball it up again.
Guild has just gone back onto the ground, boys, and I'm new to this, but I've found out don't ask club officials if you want to do it. It's best to play yourself.
Sorry, mate, you're breaking up. You might need to get a bit closer to us. Ball kick forward, coming out to meet it, Kerrick. She's caught, though, gets the hand pass off eventually. Ends up now in the hands of Taylor. She's trying to manage her the ball, but can't get to it. She's thrown sideways. Umpire says play on. Ends up in the hands of Cranston, who kicks it forward, but it's coming back. It's Beeson who takes the mark in the centre square, and she's going to kick it back into attack for the Hawks.
She is. Short pass. Finds her teammate. Still about 75 from goal here, the Hawks. Ball kicked inside 50 now, looking for Cormac. Went over her head. Ine couldn't mark. Player's gone down and done a somersault in the pocket here. Right in front of us. That was Emily Ramsey. She's going to have to fix up her hair. That was right in front of the pocket, so I think she got barreled over. We've got a ball up anyway. 50 metres out.
Got a little bit of a limp up too, just quietly.
Yeah, she's slow to recover. Bit of holding there, and the umpire pointed the wrong way, and then advantage is given. The Cats are wrong-footed. Hawks going forward and shepherded through.
Looks like it might have been Rosie Dillon with the goal. It was. So, bit of a contender, given we've only had 2 goals, a contender so far for the Bonnie Energy goal of the day. That's on the Strawberry Seed scoreboard. And we have those annoying animations again here.
Yep.
So we just wait for them to finish, but I think you'll find it's the Hawks 2 goals straight, leading Geelong 1 point. We've played 12 minutes, and that's with thanks to Strawberry Seed Consulting. All these lots us with thanks to Wilson's Wine Tours. Come out and play with them.
Yeah, just unfortunately a very fast start for Box Hill to
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn, my
Yeah,
bad.
Box Hill next time
That'll
round.
be right
Box
next.
Hill in a few hours. Yeah, just really got to be mindful, as Josh said before, really mindful of that spare player in their forward line.
Yep.
Just can't seem to adapt, unfortunately.
I think they'll be rightly grumpy that the umpire pointed the wrong way and then gave advantage. As
Yes.
the Cats players stopped almost running the other way. As Hawthorn again win the ball over the centre. Kicked inside 50. Couldn't mark it, was Gilda. Cats with numbers at the back. Pearce took her time but handballs it wide. Rankin and Crockett Grills chasing after it. Her kick went to Watton but she couldn't mark. Bounced off her chest. Players come in after it. Good tackle laid.
Sure, I think underneath it.
Maguire laying the tackle on her, and we will have a ball up. About 80 metres away from the Hawthorn goal. They're doing all the attacking at the moment. Cats can't hold on to the ball. Watton taps down. Taps it away.
Only positive is it's happening at this end of the ground.
Yes, hopefully the team kicking this end dominates all day. And they're doing so at the moment, the Hawks. They try to shamble it forward. Handball just missed Dalla. So the Hawks go back out wide as they've done so far to good avail. Dowler this is, kicks the ball inside 50, coming after it is Luke and she marks. Tamara Luke, big presence coming out of the goal square. She's marked 40 metres out and will have a shot.
She was a champion cyclist before she took up footy, was Tamara Luke.
She wanted them to run at her, making a lead, so she passed in the pocket.
good
Good
mark.
hands, great hands by Dowler. She went out through her fingertips and then went back in, and she'll have a shot for goal 20 metres out on a tough angle.
I tell you
Probably
what,
should convert.
if you're measuring her height, you'd have a bit of a struggle, wouldn't you? Do you measure it from the top of her head or the top of that ponytail that's sticking
Yes.
up at the top? It's a fair difference, isn't it?
There is, and she kicks from that pocket and hits the post.
Oh, did you hear that through the effects, Mike?
Clang straight back towards us.
And it's Hawthorn 2-1, 13 Geelong 1 point. 14 minutes played. Strawberry Seed Consulting, HR services for your small business. And with thanks to our friends at Wilson's Wine Tours. Elise, what do the Cats need to do?
Well, a lot more than what they're doing right now, unfortunately. I think they've just got to be mindful. I think they're using Jess Sibley to take Beck Goring out of the game so that she doesn't have as much influence on that back line.
Sophie O'Day with the mark, kicks the ball out wide, but it's going to come straight back again, and a mark out there for the Hawks. This time it might be Van Dyke, I think. Kicks the ball forward, goes through the hands of the Hawks player. Gilda, who was injured before, but back on the ground now, thankfully. Can't control it. O'Day has a quick kick and lands out in the hands of Vander Hoovel.
She was called to play on it, so her kick was smothered. Gets back to Van der Heuvel. Snaps it around the boundary line. Cleverly finds Darby. She'll roost the ball forward to the half-forward line. Chasing out after it is Rowe out there for Geelong. Lays a good tackle. Ball thrown away. Umpire says play on. And we'll have a ball up on the half-forward flank for the Cats. They got themselves out of danger there and got it past halfway, which they've struggled to.
Really good play by Vanderhoovel.
Yes,
I
it
thought.
was.
She's coming on leaps and bounds. The first game she played earlier in the season, she was sort of looked like she was a bit lost, but certainly making her presence felt the last couple of weeks. Ball coming out through the Hawks, coming back towards the centre, but cut off. That time by Willett. Willett's hand pass doesn't go anywhere. Ends up eventually, though, now in the hands of Webster, is it? And Webster kicks the ball towards the top of the goal square. Great mark in defence, though, by the Hawks. Not paid. Ball spills off the hands. Hawks under a bit of pressure now, but just picking up and kicking the ball out from defence and not finding a teammate in the centre, but running onto it now, the Hawks. Coming through, they've got Dowler on the lead. Dowler can't get there, but she picks it up on the bounce. Hand pass off to her teammate. Interesting hand pass. Luke picks it up. Luke doesn't pick it up. Luke tries to pick it up. Gets it to Gilder. Gilder can't pick it up either. I don't think we can find the handle, Josh. That's the thing. Rob Cameron, thanks to GB Foods. What's going on down there? Not very much by the side.
No, we're going right. This microphone's a bit slow to react.
Aren't we all?
The Hawthorn is strong in there. Got some really strong. They're really commanding that part.
You're just breaking up a little bit there, Rob. You might have to shuffle around the band at some point, unfortunately. Goring jeez, Kerrick got rid of her opponent with the don't argue. There wasn't much arguing being done, but the ball's going to come back to Goring for a free kick. Shoved her opponent to the ground there, Maddie Kerrick. That was brutal.
As a great guitarist, she didn't fret, did she?
No.
Kicks the ball out further. Boyd couldn't control it, so it's coming back. That's an interesting hand pass. The old 1-2 hands at the same time hand pass. Dowler bends down to pick it up. Can't. Pushes her opponent in the back. Umpire says that's okay. And we're going to have a ball up here right in front of us, which is great. We love that. It was Bevan and also Webster fighting for the ball, forward pocket for the Hawks.
So quick kick out of the clearance, goes towards Osborne. It's going to go over the top. It'll bounce across the face and through for a minor score.
Gee, it bent back a bit, almost went through.
I think that might have been Rosie Dillon kicking that out of the pack. I'll give her the point. So that puts Hawthorn 2-2-14, Geelong just the one behind on the Strawberry Sea Consulting scoreboard. We've got 3 minutes to play as the short kick finds Rankin in the pocket.
Rankin got her foot stood on, I think, in that marking contest. She grabbed her ankle pretty quickly. Goes out. That's the second time Ina's not been able to mark the ball. It's gone through her hands. Love gets it off now to Webster. Webster's hand pass clumsy. Puts Rankin under pressure. The Cats in all sorts here, and the ball ends up out of bounds for a throw-in. Ina couldn't keep it in. 7.5 minutes played. You're listening to GoFooty.live. Also via the VFL website's video today. If you want to watch the game at the same time, get onto VFL.com.au or through the VFL app. You can watch the video stream and still hear us. There you go. There's a bonus. Tapped down that time by the player in Tanner doing some ruck work, but it ends up in the hands of Love. There we go again. The ball kicked forward. Hand pass this time by Rowe. Couldn't control it. Boyd might have got a free kick for high, but not the case. Ball ends up centre half forward in the arms of Dowler. Dowler now looking for Luke. Luke's their go-to player, very much so. This time the ball doesn't get to her, rolls out of bounds, and before McDonald can break it in, it will be out of bounds. 18.5 minutes played, 2-2-14. The Hawks 1 point, Geelong. That's on the Strawberry Sea Consulting scoreboard.
So we've got 90 seconds to play. Hawks been dominant so far in this quarter. Looking very good early.
Well, that's only had it in the forward line once, haven't they?
Yeah, well, twice I reckon. Crockett Grills picks it up in the back pocket. Oh, spins out of trouble brilliantly, but her hairball was a bit risky into the corridor. Coming through again was Dowler. She couldn't find a teammate. Kelly tried to get through but left it behind. Eno handballs back to McDonald. Little fumble, put her in trouble. Cranston just puts it on the left and gets it out of there and hits the chest.
You can see the ones that stand out from a skills perspective, can't you?
Yeah.
Wrong-footed, just drops onto the chest of her player 25 metres away.
Boyd, that was in front, taking an important mark. Van der Heuvel now on the wing. Kicks the ball to half forward. Player under it, couldn't mark. Gets out towards the back. Trying to go the other way with Shaw for the Hawks.
Sure.
Players diving in over it now, and the umpire's going to have to get involved. We've only got 40 seconds left.
We're going to have a very special guest here in a moment at quarter time. We're going to have a really quick word to this man who's just walked in. A very, very important part of VFL football. We've only got about 30 seconds left to play, and it is the Hawks by a couple of goals. Who is it, I hear you ask?
Who is it?
You don't know who he is, do you? We're going to be joined very soon by 3WBC's own Paul Hooper, who's here doing some work for the club and also for 3WBC. We'll have a quick chat to him as well. And ball up, half forward flank for the Hawks, for the Cats. but with only 5 seconds to play, too late she cried, and kicked forward almost by Cranston, couldn't get onto it. Quick kick forward, but it's too late. I suspect it won't get through. And that is quarter time. It is the Hawks 2 goals to 14, and the Cats are 1 behind. Goal kickers, please, Barnsey.
Goal kickers, all Hawthorn players. Tomorrow Luke kicked the first, Rosie Dillon kicked the second, and that is all individuals.
Okay, we're going to take a really, really short sponsors break, and then we're going to come back and talk to the great man. You're listening to GoFooty.live on a beautiful sunny day at Box Hill City Oval. We're going to go down now with thanks to GB Foods. Robert Cameron, who are you with?
Spent a bit of time at both huddles. Hawthorn forwards coach, extremely happy with their work, really making good position. A little bit critical of their lack of run chasing the Geelong defenders out. That was something she was very strong on. On the other side, Natalie Wood for Geelong was pretty happy with the quarter, just thought that they got away from their set plans early, in the midway of the first quarter, but if they get back onto it, she was also suggesting the forwards perhaps not working hard enough to make position at this stage. So put a bit of onus back on them to get active.
Did you mention to her that we'd like them to play at this end of the ground if they wouldn't mind?
I'm sure that's what she'd be. I'm sure that's what she'd be wanting to do. This is where the action needs to be if they're going to stay in this game, because she did suggest that their fitness-wise are probably going to be better than Hawthorn. They just need to keep the ball off them, which was one that she was very strong with.
So this quarter brought to us by Enso Holmes, and here is Josh Barnes.
So the ball is back up in the middle. Darby back into the ruck for John Cranston, still in the middle. Has been quite good early, and that left foot kick is marvellous. Finds Maguire. She plays on. Handball forward. This is Rowe. She's tackled though. The numbers came for her. Ball just hung in there a little bit too long for her to escape. But good start for the Cats. Cranston, I like her in the middle at least.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got that experience, and I think she's got that physicality to really make a difference and win those clearances out for Geelong.
It's a real strength, isn't it? In every sense, like mentally strong, really physically strong as well. And I remember a couple of years ago watching her kick a goal from outside 50 in a final down at Port Melbourne. Well, last year it might have been. Just extraordinary. Ball kicked in, marked by Kate Darby. And hello to Grandma, who listens to us on a regular basis.
Hello.
And we're very pleased to have you on board today. Good kick forward, but cut off by Pepper Randall in the back line. And Randall brings the ball out now and finds Hutchings.
Terrific defensive mark by Randall. Hutchings just stepped off her line. So handballs the ball forward. They try and chain the ball forward. Van Dyke got it across. Running into trouble there was Bentley, but they get away with it as Hutchins' clearing kick is good and marked right at the top by Tanner.
They've been really good overhead, the Hawks today, haven't they? They've taken a couple of really good marks.
Yeah, been a difference. The Cats might have dropped a couple they could have held, but the Hawks haven't missed any. Hutchings cruising through now, running past the wing, kicks the ball to half forward. There's nobody around though. Finds some grass. First person over there is a Cat. She runs away beautifully. Well clear, but the kick is going to go out of bounds and be a free kick to the Hawks.
So they're on the western side of the ground. It's really weird calling a game from this position because I've caught so many from the other side of the ground, so having to come up with names for it. The sun is definitely moving in the right direction for us, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll be in a much better position to not have any excuses in the second game. Ball marked this time by Luke. Luke has been dominant down there. Dowler almost pulled down a really great mark, but couldn't. But she's also been very good forward. Running out now for the Cats, kicking it, but guess who? Tamara Luke. She's been awesome today, hasn't she, Elise?
Absolutely, been really solid. Every time Geelong have tried to push forward, she's just been up there and taking those intercept marks when it matters.
That kick was a disappointing one. It was cut off by Goring, who couldn't control the mark, and be a ball up centre half forward for the Hawks. Josh Barnes with us on GoFooty.live.
Ball tapped down. The players look at it for a while. Handball, oh, run over like a truck with no free kick. I think that was Cranston who got bowled over. And
that's a fair effort in its own right.
Clearing kick out by the Cats, and the players dive all over it. That is Van Dyke at the bottom of the pack, and we'll have a ball up on the wing. So I almost knocked my phone off the bench.
It's okay. Fortunately, I have great resources.
That's what teammates are for.
That's it.
Darby leaping high, gets a tap down. Hawks are at the fall of this one though, trying to force the ball forward. Kicked away by a Geelong player out towards the wing. They've got the numbers here, the Cats, so they should be able to sort this out. McDonald kicks the ball. That's going to go towards the boundary line, and it will. So that'll be another free kick to Hawthorn. Just can't stay away from the boundary line at the moment, the Cats. Horstoffer couldn't get there in time, so it'll be a free kick to be taken by Rowe.
Rob Cameron, with thanks to GB Foods, what are you seeing?
Yeah, what I'm seeing, going that first ever game that Geelong and Hawthorn played, and then over the years, things have progressed slowly, but the skill level of these teams today has just gone to another level again. This is by far the best game of women's footy I've seen. Really impressed with it.
And I think there's so many facets to the game. It's game sense, it's also the strength, it's the skills. This ball kicked forward by the Cats. It's going to be Pereira overrunning the ball. Boyd couldn't control it either. Pereira hand passes the ball out, was really dominant in that grand final last year for the Hawks. Ball spills out now to Love. Love hand passes it back into the group of players that are standing. There's got to be 15 players nearby. That was a throw. Umpire didn't see it because he's too far away. We're actually closer to the play than the umpire at the moment, so we'll umpire it from here if you want us to umpire. but it's going to be a ball up. Forward pocket for the Cats. They're kicking to the White Horse Road or Tasmanian end of the ground. Up it goes. Down it comes. Gravity still working out here in Box Hill. They've got it all happening out here. Overrunning the ball that time was Love, but Maguire was there to back it up. Kick forward by Bevan. That's going to roll out of bounds. It's going to be a free kick to the Cats, and that's going to go to Kate Darby. 75.83 metres out from goal in what is now known as the Robert Cameron pocket. Ball kick forward, spills to the ground, running through and picking it up. That might have been Dylan. Gets it off now to her teammate in Radden. Dangerous kick across goal. If the player there in Shaw doesn't get a kick it, that's going to go out of bounds as well, and it's going to be a free kick, I think, to the Hawks.
It'll be inside the arc.
Just inside the arc, okay. Thank you to Noah and his arc.
So Shaw, that was going off the side of her boot. Out towards the resurrected Jumping Castle.
It's up and about, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I reckon Riley and Nate might be down there a little bit later on. You never know, you're like in a big town.
I'd say they might have a few kids dominating there soon. Boyd in the ruck now for the Cats inside the 50. Not a lot of numbers around this stoppage, so a fair bit of space and the Hawks can work it out. Bevan kicks the ball outside 50. Meeting it at the half volley, just couldn't get the handle on it, as they say. I think that was Diet.
Yes,
he was brought down in a tackle, and we'll have a ball up.
We've played 5 minutes into the second quarter, 2-2-14, 1 point Geelong. No score since quarter time. Tell you what, our sponsors aren't getting terribly good value for their money today, are they? They're not getting the scoreboard read out. Enso Homes. They're building your dream home right there in Geelong. Number one choice for mine. If I was building a house, that's who I'd be talking to. Holly and Lee and the team. Ball back towards the centre. This time the Cats are doing better across half back. Quick kick forward. Inside 50 almost. It overrun, ends up in the hands of Beeson. Fresh air. So she gets a free kick. Would have been paid in every other circumstance, I would have thought, to Love, but not that time. Why wasn't that a free kick, Elise? Looked like she landed fair in her back.
I would have thought so too, but obviously the umpire didn't see it that way.
We are probably running with the Robert Cameron theory that pushing the back is no longer a rule. Now picked up by McDonald. We can tell her kicking style. Kicks an inside 50 and a mark taken, dropped, spilt that time by Hostorfer, and umpire's going to come in and board it up. Would have been a handy mark to take that time, Josh.
Yes, it would have been. As we mentioned before, they just can't quite hold them at the moment, the Cats. Getting their hands to a few opportunities, but just not sticking at the moment. See what they can do here in this stoppage. Stepping through brilliantly was Bentley, but a handball didn't go very far. Love at ground level, gets it up. Kick forward by Cranston. Well done by Van Dyke. She read it best off the boot. Handball off to Beeson. Kicks the ball outside 50. It's good. That bounces off the hands of her teammate though. Kicked around the corner by O'Donnell. Out towards the boundary. She's got a teammate there. Handball inside. It was risky. McDonald slapped it away and that'll go over the... No, they all stood and watched it. We did too. The ball this time standing at the boundary line. The umpire still won't blow the whistle. There it goes. It was dragged across finally, and we'll have a ball in just in front of that tree.
I like the leadership shown by Jade Van Dyke down here. Van Dyke, one of the more experienced players for the Hawks. She's been here the 2 or 3 years I've been broadcasting games here. Just really cool in a crisis. Not terribly big, but really good thinker of the game and plays an important role in the back line.
Yes, she does. It was quite clever there, using her teammate Cranston again, clearing it away. She'll have plenty of clearances when we look at the stats later on. Boy, tried to get it on her boot. Didn't go very far. Trying to sort it out here. The Hawks, good smother. Comes out to Benham. She's in the angle. It spills into the inside. A shot on goal is going to go through. Yes, it will. That's one for the Cats.
And a Bonnie Energy goal of the day contender. I reckon that might be...
that will be Maddie Maguire, I reckon that was.
It was indeed. So she gets a goal of the day contender. Brought to us, of course, by your Celtex distributor of fuels and lubricants. That's Bonnie Energy. Talk us through it, please, Barnsey.
So the ball spilled inside to Benham after a good smother, kept the ball inside 50. And her kick went off the instep, travelled about 30 centimetres, but that was perfect to get it inside the corridor. Maguire came through and put it through. Really important goal, Elise.
Absolutely breaks that deadlock, and I like Ruby Benham was sort of initially placed as a forward target, but I like her in the clearances, making those opportunities for the Maddie Boyds and the Kate Darbys up forward to put them through. So that was important.
And we don't do Cheerios on this station, do we?
No.
So hello to you, Paris, having a listen in Torquay and watching the broadcast. And I think she's given us a screenshot of the broadcast. And because the camera's over there, every time it goes up this way, we get to be seen on the camera. So
fantastic.
I think that's what that is. So hello, Paris. We know you had a really rough week. Torn ankle ligaments, wisdom teeth. Any wonder you're not here. But we're looking forward to seeing you really soon and hope you're feeling better and hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Ball in the centre, kick forward that time almost by O'Day. Couldn't get it to her boot. Ends up in the hands of the Cats. They're looking a lot better this quarter. They're a bit more determined going forward. Hand pass by Beeson out to her teammate there in Randall. I beg your pardon, Dylan. Dylan can't get it to a teammate. plenty of scrappy play down at that end of the ground, and the umpire is watching from afar. It's going to end up coming out, is it? Yes, it does. Not very far, though. Straight away, a tackle, and anyone's got a strepsil for Rob Cameron, that'd be very handy.
Yes, I do need a bit of a strepsil. What I'm noticing, I don't know whether it's coached or circumstances, but there's less congestion around the ball, and that might have something to do while we're actually seeing the ball flow and players be able to run away from congestion. It's made it much, much better spectacle and allowed this player's skills to really show off.
That's Robert Cameron, brought to us, of course, by GB Foods, providing the finest in food and service down in the beautiful city by the bay that we call home, that is Geelong. Ball out there on the far side of the ground. Trying to pick it up now is Rowe. She can't get to it. Ball very close to the boundary line and still not out of bounds. Umpire's going to ball it up, though, and it will happen as though it was a boundary. In fact, it's probably closer to the boundary than the boundary umpire throwing it in, because they generally come in 10 metres.
Yeah, so it was balled up in the end by the looks of it.
Yeah.
They fired over it over that far side. Pretty far away from us. Love just couldn't quite get it out there. She went back and got it, though. Handball inside. Looking back for Love.
Aren't we all?
Long-winded 1-2. Every time I say it, she handballs the ball inside into the corridor. Picked up by Hawthorn. Running into trouble, though. Good tackle laid on in the middle, and that's holding the ball. First one of those I think we've seen all day.
I think it is.
So free kick to the Cats. They are looking a lot better this quarter. Getting the ball forward with a bit more ease. As Boyd's the target of this one. She's got the best hands in the team, and she doesn't let herself down there with a good mark. Love wants it short. Boyd thought about it.
Well, it wouldn't have got to the man on the mark, I don't think it was that close.
Yes. Chips the ball inside, finds O'Day. Haven't called her throughout this year. Might be her first game.
I think it is.
Oh, takes on the player on the mark and does well and kicks the ball deep inside 50. It's going to go over the back, though, and making good position while Red was Beeson. Good little dodge, but the kick just had too much on it. So Beeson will clear the ball for Hawthorn.
Beeson 12.5 metres out from her defensive goal. Kicks the ball out there looking for a teammate, but there's a 3-on-2, so the Cats are in a good position here to get the ball if they can just pick it up. Going in hard that time, it might have been Rankin, who's down on the forward line, an unusual spot for her. That was a bit of unco. I think it got lost in the sun. Looked like Josh Barnes trying to play football. That's how unco it was. The ball on the half-forward line for the Cats comes out the back. Oh, running through like there was nobody there was Amy McDonald. She kicks the ball forward, and in best position to mark the ball here is Kirby Bentley for the Hawks. Great little piece of work by McDonald, but it didn't come to anything in the end. Ball straight through the hands of Sibley. It's coming back. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Pearce's hand pass is ordinary. Puts the player there in Cormack in good position to intercept. Now in a 3-on-3. Cats end up winning out. Pearce's kick forward, looking for her teammate. Couldn't get it. Boyd comes out over the back. Interesting kick, because it's going to end up in the arms of Van Dyke, that player I called out earlier, as reading the play really, really well.
Yeah, that's 3 separate kicks to the top of the screen, 3 separate players marking it for Hawthorn. The Cats might have to man that player up, as that ball's gone through the legs of Stephanie Carroll, and we will have a throw-in right on the 50-metre arc, where it meets the boundary, of course.
Indeed.
Webster was there trying to con the umpire and giving her a free kick.
Yeah, and he's gone. You've got to be serious, surely.
Just run straight past her.
Yeah.
He'll throw the ball back in towards the centre square. Puts the ball right in the corridor. This is Darby comes on to get forward.
So Darby's going to rove.
Tries to slap it in her direction. Ball picked up by Beeson, though. Just running out of time there was Bevan. Good tackle laid by O'Day. Very strong tackle. Ball was thrown away in the end by Tanner.
It's quite interesting, wasn't it? It wasn't holding the ball, but then when she finally got rid of it, she looked like she threw it.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
She sort of shoveled it out.
Yeah. Ball, block paid, going to the Cats. And with thanks to our friends at Wilson's Wine Tours, getting to have some good fun with David and the team. Elise Otzis, the Cats just seemingly a bit more structured this quarter.
Absolutely, they seem to be. They seem to have a lot more structure over in that half-back area, and it seems like the end where we're sitting is the scoring with intent end.
Well, we love that a lot.
Yes, long may it continue. Another intercept mark from Hawthorn in their defensive 50, and they'll get the ball out to Cara Henderson.
One of those people who should get a haircut,
yes,
because her number
long.
Is completely covered by the length of her hair.
But the ball, her kick was punched out of bounds right in front of that tree, and John Newcastle will have another throw in. So the Cats are doing a lot better work throughout the midfield this quarter. Just can't get any marked inside their forward 50. The defence is really holding up for Hawthorn.
2-2-14, the Hawks 1-1-7, the Cats 13.5 minutes played. On the Enso home scoreboard, they do great work. If you want a house and you live near Geelong in that part of the world, that's where they do their best work. They're your number one choice for the dream home you've always wanted. Ball out on the half forward flank for the Cats. Quick kick forward, and I'd love the stat on how many times a ball has gone inside 50 and the kick has been marked by the Hawthorn defence. It's been a lot of times, hasn't it?
It has. That one was just went through their hands though. That was a free kick in the the player. I think that was Della. She got up and threw it to the umpire and said, "Take it back."
Yeah.
So Della kicks the ball
So
inside
there's an
50.
argument between the player for the wrong reason.
Strong hands in front. Matty
Right.
Maguire, that was. That's what we've been missing from this Geelong forward line. A strong mark. Players making leads. I'm not sure Maguire has it in her to get the distance, but she looks pretty confident. She's going a long way back to have a shot, so she can't short pass it from there.
Darby's just drifted into the goal square, so Boyd has taken her opponent out, and Darby in the goal square with a bit of a mismatch of size. If she's in a good position, good defensive spoil by the Hawks there. And Van Dyke has been hit pretty hard in that marking contest, but she's getting up okay, which is good. It was a good fist in that time by Pepper Randall, just to break the opportunity for Darby to catch the ball.
Darby was in position to get two hands on
absolutely. 2-2-14, the Hawks, 1-2-8, the Cats, 14, almost 15 minutes played in the second quarter of the VFL game. You're listening to us on GoFooty.live. You are watching us on VFL.com.au. The very best of football on the website every week. Hand pass coming out of defence. This time it is the player in row, W-R-O-E, in case you're trying to find her name on the sheet.
As opposed to Harriet from Geelong is R-O-W-E.
That's it, which is weird. They've got the same letters, but they're all in a different order. That's a throw, umpire. Had to be. Oh, no, threw it as a... Wow. It was a throw, but he's called it the sling tackle. And one of the things, if you ever umpire a game here, Elise, I'll give you the tip. If you're going to make a controversial decision against Box Hill, don't do it on that corner of the ground right in front of the team.
Noted.
Oh, they are wild up on the hill there. Good mark almost by Rankin. She's absolutely crunched when she tries to hand pass it. And kick forward this time by Maguire. If that turns right and goes through, that will be goal of the year. It didn't. It's picked up by Henderson. Henderson's kick goes out. Two players, one-on-one. Good effort by the Hawks player there in Cormick, but she was dispensed with. Ball now in dispute, 25 metres out from goal for the Cats. Hands come out. Kick forward by Horsdorfer, and a quick snap misses. 1-3-9, the Cats, 2-2-14, the Hawks. They're back within a goal. The Cats, 16 minutes played. That's on the Enso home scoreboard. Talk to us, please, Elise Otzis. It is all happening at this end of the ground.
Absolutely, as we predicted, it's happening at the end where we're sitting. Just a bit, I think, unfortunately, Hawthorn just look a bit too strong in their defence.
And again, it was Luke who's taken the strong mark. This time out further, it was Tanner who got it off to Beeson. Beeson kicks the ball long, and that one hit Goring in the face, I think, looking up into the sky. That sun is definitely getting better, and the ball is going to be balled up. Just on the forward side of the square for the Hawks, kicking to the northern or freeway end of Box Hill City Oval. GoFooty.live. Every week we do Geelong games. That's what we're here doing today. Good tackle. Umpire says play on. Ball. And everyone's just sort of stopped, including us for the time being. But the ball comes out. That could have been Pearce. No, it was in fact, I think, Vanderhoovel who kicked it out there to Boyd. In board this time. That's a kick that was affected by the bump at the last minute. Darby goes in hard. Umpire might have paid a free kick to the Hawks there, according to the people on the hill. He didn't. Half forward flank for the Cats coming to the southern Tasmanian or Maroondah Highway into the ground.
Kevin Bentley had a look at the umpire about that free kick too. To no avail. Tanner cuts the ball down there. Good spread here for the Hawks. They clear it out. Left foot pass, couldn't find Dowler. Chasing after is Carrick for Geelong. She shrugs off Dowler. Well done. Handball inside. Oh, tackle before she could kick it away there as a Geelong player. Ine handballs, puts Love in trouble. There's another song for you. Ball kicked down the line. Maguire under it for Geelong. Put good body position.
Been Maguire's best game I've seen her play, I think.
It has. Benham was running through, didn't have it. The umpire agrees.
Crowd doesn't.
A few Geelong people clapping over there. A few Hawthorn people not so clapping as Benham will kick from 50.
Coming to you in a moment, Rod Cameron.
Boyd calling for it. It's in her direction. One hand almost reels it in. That would have been a spectacular grab. Ball trickles to the boundary line. Doesn't go out. Van Dyke did in the end take it over.
Yep.
I could almost reach it. It'll be thrown in right in front of us.
You
what have you got down there, Rob?
Yeah, there's a bit of action down here. I'm just going to make a compliment to the umpire who paid that sling tackle before. I get very disappointed that a sling tackle doesn't appear one until someone gets injured. But if they want to clean it up, you've got to pay them all. And that was, good courage by the umpire to do so. Clearly,
particularly in front of the Box Hill crowd.
Correct.
GB Foods brings you Rob Cameron and our boundary riders every week. We thank them for their support. We love having them on board. Best of service, best of foods. What else do you need? Half forward line for the Cats. Cranston in good position to show some strength here, and she does. That is a Bonnie Energy goal of the day contender. Burst through the pack, put it on a non-preferred and put it in through the goals. Geelong 2-3-15, Hawthorn 2-2-14. 1 point lead to the Cats, 19 minutes played. Elise Otsis, that's just strength.
That was so good. Elise was clapping. What did you see?
Oh, I was just too busy clapping. Cranston just got rid of her opponent so easily, and just that snap was just the kickstart the Cats really need to get back into this game.
Wrong
Put
foot
them
and
in
all.
front. She's really got that burst play at the moment, Cranston, where nobody can sort of tackle her and she gets loose. She cleaned up Madison Shaw before she went after the ball, put her on her backside, and then went and picked her up and kicked the goal. That was just brutal stuff right here.
30 seconds to play before half-time. This quarter brought to us by Enso Homes. They're your number one choice for building your dream home in and around Geelong. Hand pass kick forward this time by Hutchins, one of their more experienced players as well. Played in the premiership last year, as I recall. Free kick to the to the Hawthorn side, and the Box Hill crowd get very pleased about that. Free kick to Bevan.
Bevan kicks the ball forward. Oh, collision of bodies at the half-forward line. Both going for the ball. That was good stuff. The ball's cleared out and going back with flight courageously to take that mark was Webster, and that will do us for half.
So in that
It was
quarter,
a half of 2 quarters.
it was indeed. In that quarter, the Hawks didn't score, and the Cats kicked 2-2. So at half-time, the score is 2 goals, 3-15. The Cats, Hawks 2 goals, 2-14. We thank Enso Homes, who brought us that quarter. We're going to have some sponsorship activity, and then we'll be back to talk about all things footy. This is GoFooty.live, broadcasting live from Box Hill City Oval. It is the Cats by 1 point at halftime in the VFLW game.
Oh, yes. And you'll notice in the record in the player profiles every week, they list that as their favourite place to eat or drink. I don't know whether that's a couple extra dollars or a couple free coffees going their way, but that's...
No, I think it's a template in the footy record.
Yes.
So the ball back in the centre, and the Cats are looking to build on a 1-point lead at half-time. This quarter, of course, brought to us by the Cat Shop and Charles & Co Cafe. And we're very, very pleased to have their support, aren't we, Joshua?
We are.
Particularly if they give us a free
everybody
coffee.
else too. Yeah. If we keep mentioning them, maybe we'll get some as well. It's kicked away by Beeson for Hawthorn.
A free house from Enso Holmes.
Grabs that and is ridden.
Picky-backed.
By Claire O'Donnell. We'll have a ball up. Hawthorn attacking. There's no wind out here, but this end has been the only one worth attacking so far today, mostly because we're sitting here. That's Hawthorn again going forward. Ball spills out, O'Donnell after it. Shovels the ball away. Oh, well done. That was Hutchings who handballed it backwards and found a teammate. Ball kicked forward. Ramsey in good position.
Good
does
mark.
Take a good mark.
Under plenty of pressure.
Grab, yes.
So it's Ramsey back in the goal square, and her biggest claim to fame is her father and her brother know Robert Cameron, and I think that's worth mentioning.
Oh, it's got to be
her
brother playing in a premiership with me would probably be a
could have been that as well. Either way, they're very, very strong supporters of GoFooty.live, and we thank them very much for it. Ball marked out in the half-back flank by Maddie Boyd, and again, just too big, too strong, isn't she?
Yeah, she fumbled that one down and ended up using her knees to hold it, but her kick inside the corridor is intercepted. She hangs her head.
She'll actually have whiplash from when she threw her head back when she kicked it.
Ball long, looking for Luke, reaching over the top and plucking it. That's
mark.
A great grab. Poor Maddie Carrick didn't do a whole lot wrong there. Luke just had longer arms and pulled it away from her. And she'll line up for goal. She was a colossus in that first quarter. Barely sighted in the second because the ball didn't get to her. But she's picked up where she was at this end.
Really strong player, isn't she? You can see that she's been a cyclist by the strength in her mid core. It's just really, really strong at the ball.
Absolutely, and Maddie Carrick's giving away a bit of height there as well, so continuing that overhead mark tradition for the Hawthorn forwards.
And Luke's kick is to the near side and through from behind as the umpire slaps himself. And that is the first score. Ties the game, 2-3 apiece. That is thanks to the Cat Shop. In this third quarter, we have played 2 minutes.
If there's one more goal to each side, it will be level. So the ball out in the back pocket. Ramsey onto her left foot. I didn't know she kicked left foot. I thought she was on the right foot. It gets the ball out to Pearce. And Pearce on the half-back flank takes the mark. She kicks the ball further down. She's taken in front of the jumping castle there. Ball didn't get marked. It was tapped down to the front, picked up by the Hawks. Poor hand pass. I think it's ended up in the hands of Pereira. Kicks the ball into the forward pocket. Picked up. Well done that time by Sibley. Tries to turn her player inside out. Doesn't have any success. Ball spills out. Going in to get it this time, the Cats. Good hands this time by Webster out to Goring. And Goring kicks the ball down to a 2-on-1. Ball punched over the back. Boyd couldn't control the ball. Ends up, Boyd picks it up in under some pressure as Van Dyke grabs her. Ball up on the half-back flank for the Cats. They're kicking to the northern or freeway end. For those of you who know Box Hill Oval, if you don't know Box Hill Oval, they're still kicking to the northern or freeway end. Doesn't matter. Ball kicked forward by the Hawks. Goes past Goring, but she comes back, good hands, gets it off to her teammate, couldn't control the ball, end up really well done by Woollett, runs hard, does the bounce, runs through, she is off to the races and uses her other foot to boot. That's the best piece of play we've seen for a few weeks. That one, I was very impressed with that.
She really backed herself. The handball put her under pressure, but her kick wasn't collected. Dowler, kicks ball, Dowler, that would be, kicks the ball back in and Luke marked on the chest, low down. She'd be close to getting the distance almost from here.
Pretty much nearly the same spot she took the mark on her last shot at goal.
A little bit further out, so she doesn't trust herself and gets a move on quickly. That's going to go out on the full.
And here's a rule for the folks. the guy standing behind the fence, never take your eye off a footy.
Yes.
That would be a rule I would always go with. Good kick, almost intercepted, and it was in the end. Good piece of work by Claire O'Donnell in the forward pocket to keep the ball here.
Away from Rankin, just did enough to stop her from marking it. So the umpire will throw it back in, probably about 30 metres away from Hawthorn's goal when it gets in there. Luke doing the ruck loop against Derby. Both of them sort of miss it. Goes through Cranston, just bursts their way through. Handball was to nobody really. Hutchings goes the other way and gets it on the boot towards the goal square. It's going to go over the back. Oh, should have marked it in the end. The players dive in after it. Sibley, that was who should have marked it.
Pearce underneath it.
Umpire's coming across and we'll have a ball in. He did all the work there, just Sibley. Got Pearce underneath it, got two hands to it. The ball just hit the deck.
Wonder whether she got the sun in her eyes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe just misread it. The ball is tapped down. Quick snap is going to go through for a goal. That was O'Donnell, I think it was.
Yes, it was. Good kick at goal, and they continue the tradition of kicking goals at this end.
Yes, they do. And that is Hawthorn's third, 3-3-21. That makes them Geelong 2-3-15 on the Geelong Cats scoreboard. Just found some room inside 50 there, Elise.
Yeah, that's right. Couple of entries there finding Tamara Luke, and a bit of a bugbear for mine is when female athletes aren't professional and they dabble into different kinds of sports for different kinds of reasons. Just the strength of Tamara Luke just shows how that can be an advantage for a female athlete in any sport.
Yeah, she's really strong. I've said it before, but strong through the core. Really hard to move off her line if the need be. Ball comes down the centre, kick forward by the Hawks again, and it's all happening at this end of the ground, which we're very pleased about. Williamstown's another ground that we'll visit this year where it's the same, and you got no idea when the fog comes in who's. The player that was best on ground last week. Your guess is as good as mine. Gets a lot of kicks at Williamstown as well. So the ball at centre half forward for the Hawks is going to be a ball up. Umpire just sorting a few things out. It's going to be a Derby up against, I think it might be Tanner that time. It wasn't, it was Watton. Watton's tapped down. They've got three really big, strong people who can play in the ruck. Watton on the ground after last week's best on performance. Gets the ball off to her teammate. Good evasive skills. Ball goes out wider, but running onto it, two Cats against one Hawk. One Hawk wins in this particular instance. Ball spills out the back, kick forward quickly, and coming out to meet it, and not quite take the mark was Rankin. She could have, but didn't, so won't. So the ball ends up now in the hands of Gilda, who I think kicked the first ever goal for the Hawks in their club history. There's a piece of trivia for you.
Brilliantly done by McDonald in there to keep her feet and find a teammate. The ball was kicked out by Ramsey. In trouble there, that might be Webster. Oh, it was Van der Heuvel. This is Webster. She kicks the ball forward. All by herself there, marking 10 forward. That is Maguire. Boyd's charging back. She probably should kick it into her space. Oh, she's been run down from behind. Was she off her mark? Must have been. Holding the ball it was. Play on's called.
No
Tanner
talk.
marks now at centre half forward. Yeah, she must have stepped off her line. Nobody told her there was someone coming from behind. Ball kicked inside 50 now for Hawthorn. They're doing the attack again. Overrunning it was Woolett. She left it behind. Dowler puts her head over it. Woolett goes back in. Comes out the back. McDonald. Rankin. Kerrick kicks the ball out wide.
Good
finds
kick.
Boyd.
That's just a good, solid kick. One thing I've liked about Maddie Boyd since she's come back from her break is she tends to cover more of the ground and therefore becomes an option in other parts of the ground.
Yeah, particularly today, she's been always there as that release kick.
Yeah.
Finding space, did really well. So the ball comes up the wing to Maguire. She tries to bite one off in the middle, couldn't find a teammate. Hawthorn working on the turnover now. Kicks inside to an open 50. Trouble for defenders, but no trouble for Maddie Kerrick. Does really well. And two players have just come off the interchange bench, so they can run this one forward.
One of those is Crockett Grills playing against her old side, kicks it into the centre of the ground and finds Pearce. I've often wondered, in a situation like that where you're under pressure, do you actually revert to habit and kick it to the wrong side? Kicking it forward this time is the player in, that was Rowe, running onto it.
No.
Overran it like Gunston did last night in that game. Hand pass over the back in the end. It's going to go to Van der Heuvel, and she breaks the cycle. First goal kicked at the other end of the ground, the northern end of the ground. Hawthorn 3-3-21, Geelong 3-3-21, 8 minutes played. Third quarter, Cats Shop and Charles & Co Cafe scoreboard. And Elise Zotzis, talk us through that one.
Can't believe it. There's been a goal kicked at the end that we've deemed the non-scoring end. Just really good gutsy play there from the Cats, and also the Smarts just to run off their direct opponents in that forward 50. Just allowed them that extra bit of space, and then allowed that goal to happen.
Yep, really clever kick by Beck Pearce, I think it was, from half back. She went long down the line, but just got it over an opponent and found her teammate at centre half forward. That set up the play in motion, and Van der Heuvel was in the right spot. Despite missing it, having a fresh area from 2 metres out, she was there for the handball. So a really good goal for the Cats.
See the one that Gunston overran last night in the AFL game?
I didn't, so I can't help you.
It was in the goal square, and he went to kick it off the ground. He could have picked it up and kicked it. He decided to kick it off the ground and missed. Which is mildly amusing, I've got to say. So the ball in the centre, the Cats trying to work their way out. Umpire says didn't have a prior opportunity, and it'll be balled up again on some of the green part of the territory. GB Foods bring us Rob Cameron, and he's on the boundary line. Rob, what are you seeing?
Yeah, just wanted to make some comment that Natalie Wood made about they felt that they were going to be physically stronger, physically quicker running, and they'll be able to run the Hawthorn off their legs. That last bit of play suggested that Hawthorn had the lack of ability or want to chase those Geelong forwards, because any one of three could have kicked that goal. They just didn't get back quick enough, Hawthorn, and that could be telling in the last quarter.
The fact that you ran up and got in front of them was a worry.
They certainly have the bigger bodies, Hawthorn, which could be a strength or it could be an issue as the game goes on. So Pearce scoops up. She's been good today. Handball put her teammate under pressure though. Taylor was brought down. That was thrown out of the attacker by Rankin. That's being hunted here, so Pearce just gets it on the boot and get it out of here. Ball kick down the line, a good mark. Hawthorn played on immediately. Ball kick long, looking for Cormac. Gets over the back. Cormac holds their feet to run inside 50. She goes long. There's Luke, one-on-one with Goring. Only could put one hand up. Goring did really well, won the day. Clearing handball finds Taylor. Nowhere really to go there, so she just kicks it across goal. She was hit hard. She's down, Taylor. That ball's going to go towards the goal line. Ramsey in trouble. Just got it off in time. Cats need to probably try and rush this. They're in trouble. O'Donnell almost got her boot to it. She's over the top of it now, O'Donnell. The umpire's going to ball it up.
At this point, it's almost going to be a try.
Yeah.
Just lack of experience then by Emily Ramsey. Good player would have just eased that over the line and then quickly taken the kick in and a release for Geelong. So hopefully that hasn't cost them, which it doesn't look like it has.
Shall I get that Benny Hill music going? Everyone had a shot, everyone had a dip, everyone missed, but in the end it's a behind to the Hawks. It puts them in front by that single behind. 11 minutes played in the third quarter with thanks to the cat shop, and everyone takes a deep breath. That time Goring gets it out to Wallet, and Wallet out to Pearce.
Pearce has had plenty of it across half back today. That kicks straight into the Henderson, yes.
Henderson's going to wake up tomorrow morning and go, why am I bruised on the chest? Because she stopped that with her chest from about 1 metre away.
George runs over and gives her a serve, and the umpire will throw it back in. Of course, George is the runner for the Cats. Just scooting around that back line. The umpire throws it in now towards the middle.
Don't think it's him today.
Yeah, it actually looks like somebody else.
I think there's two runners, so it might be the other one.
Tanner doing the ruck work at the moment for Hawthorn in front position. Guides it down perfectly. Masterclass in ruck work there. Ball's kicked long. Looking for Luke. Goring on her again. Ball's going to beat all of them and go out of bounds for a throw in right next to the point post.
Yeah, just further to that, Barnesy, I was going to say before about the quality of the ruck work today. Tamara Luke created that last Hawthorn goal with some brilliant ruck work, and then at the next centre bounce, Watton, who's been really, really strong, has hit a teammate right in the chest. Another good work there, and it's really been quite evident today.
I liked Goring's attempt to convince the umpire that it was far enough around from the goal, like 1 metre, for it to be a free kick to her.
Yeah. The umpire wasn't happy with the throw-in, so he tells the boundary umpire to do it again. I think it hit a Geelong play on the way down.
George out and about now, Barnesy.
There he is.
Yes.
Yeah, that unique running style.
George Seaward, son of the famous Dr. Hugh Seaward, who was a Geelong Footy Club doctor for many, many years.
So the ball tapped down in the forward pocket. Lots of big people trying to reach down to pick up the ball. It's a long way to reach. And it's been picked up by a Hawks player, who was then picked up by two Cats players and brought to the ground. That Hawks player was, in fact, Georgia Bevan. 1 point lead to Hawthorn, 13 minutes played, third quarter, brought to us by the Cat Shop. Umpire says you held the ruck player out, and so Zoe Inne will get a free hand pass, gets it off to Rankin, and away they go, the Cats.
She kicks it long and wide. It was either going to be a free kick or a mark. We'll pay the mark to Abby Tanner. So Hawthorn will return to attack.
Awful kick.
That's a shocker. Julia Crockett-Grill stands in place. Maybe she called for it.
Yeah, Tans. Because again, it must happen occasionally that you hear a voice they recognise and they go there. I suspect not that time because she was some distance away. Ball goes over the back of the pack. A little bit of fancy dance work. Reminds me a little bit of Elise Zotzis at a nightclub, the way she moved her feet that time.
He's actually right there.
And ball ends up in the hands of Hutchins. Hutchins can't control it. Two Cats players fighting each other on the ground. One of those is O'Day. And in fact, it will be balled up half forward flank, right in front of the Box Hill and Hawthorn faithful on the hill there, right near where Rod Cameron is entertaining the troops. Kick forward by Cranston, but not very far. Hand pass ends up with the player in Kelly. That's Taya Kelly. There was a Lily Kelly picked in the original squad, but didn't take her place by the looks of it. Elise Zotzis, what's going on out there with thanks to our friends at the Cat Shop?
Just loving Rocky Cranston's intensity there, even though it sort of looked done and dusted that Hawthorn were going to take possession. She just threw herself at the contest and enabled that boundary throw.
Tackle.
Great tackle indeed.
Brilliant tackle by McDonald laid there. That was Wilson's wine too as he brought us.
Absolutely, I did make a mistake on that.
So McDonald laid the tackle and kicks a cross goal. They're trying to work that switch a bit here, Geelong. It's not really working for them, but what might pull off on this occasion. Pearce's handball finds Webster. Out to Goring. They've got a player out the loose on the wing, so Goring just gets it there any way she can. Rankin, handballs inside. Cruising pass was Della. Kicks the ball inside 50. That's going to be intercepted by Pereira. Well positioned.
Disappointing kick given the work they did to get it there.
Yeah, they did really well at that time with the switch on, getting that loose player out wide. It's kick across the goal again by Pereira. Both teams flirting with danger a little bit. But now Hawthorn have some numbers. A bullet kick across there. And Beeson's making position and calling for it, so she'll be the next link in the chain.
And Watton out further. Not going to go there. Yes, they are. Watton made position very early.
Yep. So this is what we were talking about throughout the day of both teams holding their width and holding players out wide. Gives them options. Ball comes up to Taya Kelly now on the wing. Just trying to pick their way through Hawthorn. That's not a great kick, but Luke makes it look good. O'Donnell gets it on the boot. Works out well. Kick inside 50 now to nobody really. Goring's going to be first there for the Cats. Boundary line might be her friend. Oh, she's taken quite strongly. Good tackle. Umpire's going to have to come in and ball it up.
If only they could bring it 1 metre closer to us, then we'd actually be able to participate in the ruck duel, wouldn't we? It's right in front of us. 3-4-22, the Hawk 3-3-21, the Cats. 16 minutes played, third quarter, thanks to the Cats shop. In A up against Luke. Ball spills down, picked up by Dylan. Round the body, 1 point.
I think that ruck work's becoming a little bit of a problem for the Cats at the moment, at least. They're just dominating there, the Hawks.
Yeah, they are finding that that tight space in that ruck contest is very dangerous, especially on this scoring end of the ground. Something the Cats have got to be a bit more aware of, I think.
Looks like Rosie Dillon's the designated person to hit to as well. Ine comes across, takes a good grab.
Tell you what, I'm going to give a Bonnie Energy Goal Umpire of the Day award to this bloke down here with a very definite tap when support. He's very, very clear in his hand gestures.
Dowler picks it up and forces a turnover here. Hawthorn inside there, forward 50. Put on the boot by Della. Out towards Henderson. She'll pick it up. Ramsey's on her backside. Drags it down. Love dives in there for Geelong and holds things up. And we'll have a ball up.
You reckon 41.6 metres out from goal, I would have said, broadly speaking.
Sorry to interrupt, just as that turnover was made. Yes, that umpire down here, you can hear him through our effects mic.
Yeah.
He's tapping with
Giving
purpose.
himself a pounding when it goes through for a behind.
No, I've got to love a man who's deeply passionate about what he's doing. Umpire going to ball it up again. 38.6 metres out from goal now. GB Foods bring us Rob Cameron. What are you seeing?
Rob's buying another snag for himself.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Because they're very, very good snags here. I've got to tell you, I have had one or two of them over the journey.
Wouldn't be the worst decision for him to bring a couple up.
Well, think about that at half time. I was just focused on something else for a minute there.
Just had half time.
Yeah, thanks very much for half time.
Sorry, end of game. Halfway, you know, the middle of the day is what I meant.
Yeah, thank you very much. What are you seeing down there for GB?
Oh, look, I'm seeing just a great game of footy. I cannot believe how good this is and how much the skill level has improved in a short period of time. This overlap run and handball of both sides has been really pleasurable to watch, and I'm just wondering, as I mentioned again, whether in the last quarter that might be the advantage that Geelong have over Hawthorn, because they certainly do have a speed and agility advantage over the Hawks, but the Hawks are winning those strength marking, and in particular, Barnesy, those ruck contests, Hawks are dominating.
Yeah, you sort of feel there's no reason for it given there's no wind here today, but you sort of feel Geelong just have to weather the storm this quarter and they'll come home to the scoring end. The ball has just been locked down this end the whole day.
I think the other thing too I'm noticing, and maybe I'm making it up, but I reckon the players have got more confidence in their own ability, so they're more prepared to take a risk.
Yeah.
We're seeing players kicking across goal, which a couple haven't worked, but we're seeing players go harder to play, like that particular tackle there. You know, rather than try to corral, they're tackling the player.
Yeah. And I noticed at that stoppage there was only about 8 players around the ball, which is extremely rare these days in footy. So both teams are just holding their numbers back. We know they have to keep a few around halfway as per the rules, but they definitely both made a conscious effort to keep players out of the stoppage today. As Kerrick kicks the ball forward for Geelong, Darby overruns it. Boyd handballs out, finds Love, kicks the ball inside 50, getting me every time. Missed handball there, could be costly. Picking up and stumping it forward was Beckley. There's no one there. Will it bounce through? It's going to bounce and it's going to roll and it's going to go to the left. And eventually get over the line in that open forward line. And that takes Geelong to 3-5?
3-4 to 3-5. They're 1 point behind
I was wondering
still.
where they got it up before I did. So Hawthorn by 1 point. We've got 50 seconds to go. Oh, it's intercepted. Darby's got it in the pocket.
I tell you what you don't do. He may occasionally miss one, but Phil Bean in the scoreboard, very, very good. Listens into the broadcast that 3WBC do. So if there's ever a mistake, he fixes it really quick. But he has got the fastest finger in the footy world.
So Darley's marked it in front of the cricket nets. She's going to kick near onto the siren here, so this will be the last piece of play by the time the ball gets back to the middle.
But she knows that she can see the timer, obviously, so she'll just
Yeah.
waste as much time as she can.
So it's got to either level the scores or put Geelong in front. It is to the near side. So we have a level ball game right on three-quarter time, thanks to the catch shop. 3-5-23 apiece. It's been a good one so far. We're set for a big last quarter. And there it is. That'll wrap things up. 20 minutes played in that quarter, as usual. It is, as I said, 3-5-23 thanks to the catch shop. It's three-quarter time here at Box Hill. Hawthorn and Geelong going toe-to-toe. And we'll see who comes out on top in the final 20 minutes.
We sure will. In the meantime, though, we will hear from some sponsors, and we'll be back really, really soon.
There's nothing on some of the ads.
And comfort of your very own reserve seat for 3 home games with our newest Cats membership. Have your choice of 3 GMHBA stadium clashes against the likes of Sydney, North Melbourne, St Kilda and Adelaide. Adults from $100, juniors from $40. Stand proud and join us at membership.geelongcats.com.au.
There are plenty of classic hits radio stations, but this is where GoRadio.live is different. We unashamedly select the best...
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yes! Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Jack Heverin, Tuesdays from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine. Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL, live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
Or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live.
Camp, the coach and the players were having a very animated discussion about what should be going on there. I thought that was very interesting. And in the Geelong camp, Natalie would just getting them to concentrate on doing the really important 1%ers correctly. She thought a couple of kick into player on the mark sort of mistakes in that quarter really costly. Just get them to concentrate, even though they're tired. Just keep working hard and doing the right thing.
Robert Cameron with thanks to GB Foods, the finest in service and in foods. Ball in the halfback flank area for the Cats. Kick forward this time by Goring. She's looking for Benham. Benham leads in the race of the ball from Kelly of the Hawks. Few chain of hand passes and the Cats coming forward. Benham kicks the ball inside 50. Looking for, can't find her teammate. Ball just sits up nicely for Boyd. Boyd kicks it towards the goals. Maguire got her skates on, which is not much use. She should have footy boots. Can't get to it. Gets tackled without the ball. Umpire says play on. Ball rolls through 1 point. Cats take the lead. 3-6-24, Hawthorn 3-5-23. Elise Sotz the score. The Wilson's wine tours, they were almost the wine bunker. We'll do that later in the day. Really good movement of the ball by the Cats that time.
Absolutely, and I love that they were kicking to space. Maddie Boyd, I think she pegged the kick back a bit, not going for goal, but just hoping to find Madison Maguire. But unfortunately, didn't pay off. But I'm liking that they're creating a bit more space for more scoring opportunities in this last quarter.
And as Rob said, that might be that worry that Jolly getting over the back of them a little bit. Those small forwards are running into goals. The ball kicked along the line. Benham can't get there to touch it, so it should be a free kick to Hawthorn.
Another comment Natalie Wood made too about the stronger physicality of the Hawthorn players and how Geelong need to stand up really strongly in those tackles and not be physically intimidated.
Round the grounds with thanks to GoRadio.live. It's the Saints have won against the Seagulls 59-7 down at the Wilson Storage Trevor Barker Beach Road Oval. We'll take 3 minutes of the call just to name the oval. Cranston coming the other way, kicks it inside, finds Love, don't we all? And she stands up in the tackle, runs away, kicks the ball clumsily in the end, out of bounds on the full. Tried to do maybe a little bit too much.
Great chase by Bentley.
It was a good chase by the 2 number 9s. And taking the free kick in the back pocket here will be Pepper Randall with the green headset going on.
Maybe should have kicked it quicker there, Love. Just a bit of hesitation, I think.
Well, hand passed it to a teammate. She's going to get a second chance.
Love couldn't hold the mark. Diving in there strongly over the top of the ball was play from each side. And the umpire says, I'll take it from here. Pereira, that was from Hawthorn diving on top.
Not something that I've ever had to worry about, obviously, with my hair like it is, but I would have thought it'd be really difficult to play with a lump of hair flopping along the back of your head all the time. Rocky Cranston showing good strength, gets the ball towards his teammate, but good interception that time by Henderson, gets it off to Van Dyke, ball out on the wing, coming out to meet it, that looks like it's Webster, she's just bumped off the ball, beg your pardon, Ramsey gets bumped off the ball. Good work that time by her teammate in, was that...
might have been Kerrick.
I think it might have been Kerrick as well. That's exactly what I was going to say. Ball out of bounds forward pocket for the Cats. They're kicking to the Whitehorse Road, Tasmanian, or southern end of the ground. The side, 5 of the 6 goals have been kicked at this end of the ground. So they are kicking to the scoring end. They're in front by a point. We've played 3 minutes. Of course, we forgot to tell you this is brought to you by Music Workshop this quarter. Music Workshop, great things going on there if you want anything to do with music or, in fact, anything like Karen. Great work, Rocky Cranston, round the corner. If you don't mind,
that is your Bonnie Energy goal of the day.
That is your Bonnie Energy goal of the year. What a great kick, and you'll be able to see that on the stream. But what a great kick on her left foot. Rocky Cranston, her second for the day, takes the Cats 7 points in front. Run us through that one, please, Elise Otis, with thanks to Wilson's Wine Tours.
Well, can Rocky Cranston win the Bonnie Energy goal of the day and the top cat in one game?
Oh, I think so.
No rule against it.
What a strong effort.
Give every other award to her as well.
Another strong effort from Rocky Cranston up forward, and I think the the Hawthorn backline were just caught a little off guard that she'd floated forward again, not really having the awareness to see that she'd popped up and slotted that goal very nicely.
To be fair, no one's got the right to kick that goal.
Yeah.
Right, so they're going, right, well, Cranston's over there with the ball. That's okay, that won't be a goal. Wow, what a kick.
I have a feeling at three-quarter time when Natalie Wood was trying to get the players not to be intimidated, I don't think she was talking to Rochelle Cranston during that.
Well, Rochelle Cranston has got a free kick in the centre and is going to kick the ball deep into the forward line for the Cats. And this is the Rocky Cranston we've been used to. And out comes Maddie Boyd like the 227 laburnum to the city, stopping all stations except East Richmond.
We've said it a few times this year. Gee, she looks like Tom Hawkins in the number 26 charging up the middle of the ground like that.
Just strong at the ball. And if you look at poor old Chantel Pereira on the mark, she's got it covered for strength and size and was always going to be tough. In towards full forward, ball spills to the front, and Good Hands gets it out to Carroll for the Hawks, and they are under siege.
Carroll's kick finds Woollett for Geelong, intercepting.
She's played a very good game, this young lady. She's been really, really strong in defence today, again.
She was a top cut a couple of weeks ago.
Backs herself in the tackles to get around him. She kicks long, Boyd coming again. Oh, yes, no, not quite. Spilled it on the third attempt there, Boyd. That would have been a great pack mark.
I reckon 8 out of 10 umpires would have paid that. Today we were dealing with one of the other two.
And to be fair, she got 5 grabs on it, three of the grabs happening after the ball hit the ground, so it wasn't going to work. Love comes through, hand pass is an airy in the end, ball spills out the back, comes out now to the Hawks defence. They won't have seen an attack on them like this for a long time. Good work by Carroll getting it out towards Dowler, who was everywhere in the first quarter. Hasn't done much since, but she's taken a very, very important mark. Scores Geelong 4-6-30, Hawthorn 3-5-23, 5 3/4 minutes played. Music Workshop scoreboard, good cut off that time by O'Day on the wing.
Yep, O'Day has it. Kicks the ball down the line. Boyd again making position. Tries to reel it in with one hand, just grabs it on the deck, kicks the ball forward. It's going to trickle out of bounds. That might be a free kick to Hawthorn. It's watched over by Carroll. She did a good job of dancing around it.
In some games that'd be called deliberate because she didn't actually try to keep the ball in. In this game it's actually rewarded because she didn't try and get the ball in.
Ball kick down the line was intercepted and just shoved back inside 50. Intercepting was Randall. Goes straight back up the wing. Might have been better advice to find a target inside. But we do have some numbers at the fall of the ball. Watton dives in after it. Players appealing for a free kick. Umpire ignores that and will ball it up as Arj comes around to get some action in front of us.
Here he is, the great man.
Hi, Arj.
Yeah. Makes for great radio, but that's okay. So the ball, like we were talking to David Murray before, we're doing one half of the conversation on the radio, the other half not being heard. Ball is deep in the forward back pocket for the Hawks. Bit of a high tackle. That might be Dowling who copped that. Dowler, I beg your pardon, who copped that. No, it wasn't. It was in fact Bevan.
Going to need a good finisher like Michael Bevan to get over the line here, the Hawks.
Well played. Well played, sir.
Out wide. This is Carroll. She's come into the game in the last few minutes. Calling for it backwards is Randall. We've got numbers here to work around the outside as players charge over to the outer side. Ball has to get there first. Marking and diving was Radden. Pereira asked for the handball. Going to kick over her head. They've still got numbers out on the outer side here. Hutchins. Just took a little bit too long and Cats players were quick enough to get over there. It's going to be 50 metres though. Coming over the line was Horsdorfer. Charged at Hutchins when the throw wasn't called. This is going to help the Hawks get into attack.
Last night they played one of these 50 metres where you can now run off, and one of the players coming which side ran parallel, and the umpire saying you have to go away, you're inside the 50 zone or inside the protected zone while he was paying it. It's part of this new silly rule. Kicked long inside the forward line for the Cats, for the Hawks in fact. Great work coming the other way for the Cats. This looks like it might be O'Day kicking the ball forward. They've got a run on.
Jeez.
And we've got, who we got here?
Benham.
Benham it is,
Got
indeed.
nowhere to go.
Just kicks the ball backward to a teammate, about 25 metres, coming the other way. Good hands.
Oh,
It looks like it's McDonald, indeed it is, and she gets the ball in and finds a teammate in Della.
Crockett Grills wants it in the pocket. Della tries to get it there. It's not going to make her. Good punch from Love coming over the top, but Sibley was in good position. Did well. Covered two players there. Hutchings now going the other way. Hawthorn. Can they draw a little bit closer? Beeson back to Hutchings. Just gathers it with one hand, looks up and sees Geelong players back. Tries to kick wide. Rankin's going to intercept this. Tay Kelly comes over and put on pressure. Yep. Rankin just dropped it. Kelly picks it up and handballs it forward. Good shepherd lay by Ine, but then she realised she was shepherding for no one, so dived in after it herself. Handball out wide now to Rankin. She'll kick the ball down the line. 2-on-1. And the umpire's paid it down the field. Free kick. Hands on heads for the Hawks players. That's costly.
So we've played 9 minutes into the last quarter, brought to you, of course, by Music Workshop down there in Fine Street, South Geelong. And if you can't find what you're looking for there from music, PA, electronics, microphones, speakers, you name it, they've got it. And
can you pay a 50-metre penalty against a player on the bench?
I believe you can.
Because that player didn't quite throw it perfectly back to Boyd. It would be harsh to pay a 50, but it would have been interesting.
So ball goes over the back. Maguire couldn't hold the ball. Ball rolling towards the boundary. You'd think that the Cats one more will be enough. That's a hand pass that's gone out of bounds. Umpire's going to say that is a free kick, is it? He's talking to the boundary umpire to determine whether or not it was directly hand passed out. And we're all excited. We're on the edge of our seats, mate. Tell us. Rob Cameron, you're right there. Give us your best bet.
I think the umpire's having a little rule discussion here, but in the end, the common sense has prevailed and the right team have got it. Noticing a lot of girls coming off the bench now, really, really tired. So this very, very good game to watch is starting to have a lot of effect on the players.
Beeson with the ball, half-back flank for the Hawks. You'd think one more for the Cats will do it. Gets the ball across now to Radden. Radden's got a player out wide. That looks like Steph Carroll the way she's running. Ball didn't quite get to her, so it gives the Cats the chance to catch up. Pereira with the ball now. She's got Beckley on her tail. Gets the ball forward down there and finds the player in Gilda.
Gilda looking for options inside 50. Geelong's done a good job of getting a couple of players back in this quarter to protect their lead. The ball's over Kelly's head, out towards the boundary. Snap on goal, goes to the teeth of the goal. Woolett's there and she taps it through.
Might have been Wotton, it might have been Watton, I think, who had
the
kick.
I think so.
So it brings the score now to Geelong 4-6-30, Hawthorn 3-6-24. Coming up to 11 minutes played, just over 9 minutes to go in the last quarter, brought to us by Music Workshop. That's where Karen came from, of course, the Karen of Amazing Radio Equipment Network.
They've been at it for 30 years, Music Workshop.
They have indeed, and boy, they're very, very good at it. Family-owned business, we love those a lot. Ball kick out to the half-back flank. 2 or 3 Hawthorn players spoil each other, swooping on the crumbs, the Cats. Comes out now to Benham, I think you'll find that is. Hand pass back to a teammate, misses her teammate. But McDonald coming the other way, trying really hard. Couple of Hawks players go in hard. Ball ends up being in the arms of a Cats player, but out of bounds, and it'll be thrown in right in front of the coach's box. If you're going to be tough, that's where you want to be tough, because you want to be in front of your coach. Elise Zotzis, what are you seeing there with thanks to the wine, Wilson's wine tours?
Just getting the impression that when Hawthorn are trying to go forward or making some play, they're really playing to their strength advantage and making those contests one-on-one, whereas Geelong are looking to sort of use their speed to play on quickly in order to get the ball into their forward 50.
Yeah, it has been a clash of styles. Geelong definitely trying to find space. Whereas Hawthorn, as you said, at least trying to use that strength in the contest. Through that, the ball's gone forward and then back again. We'll have a ball up centre half forward.
You've just seen the runner in George Seward run out to Ruby Benham and say, listen, do something, whatever it is. I don't know what it is that she's been asked to do, but she ran straight towards the ball. So it'd be interesting to see what instructions come out. Looks like it might be Webster kicking the ball out. Good body use that time by the Cats. That's Boyd kicking it off the ground but missing. The old ha-ha sucked in, didn't kick it like you thought I would. And umpire's going to pay free kick. And it's going to go to, is it Boyd with the ball?
I think that's Webster.
It's Webster indeed. I just looked it down at the wrong time. It's my excuse anyway.
So Webster's in front of the interchange gates and Rob Cameron. She kicks the ball down the line. Mark should have been taken, but it was spilled by Rowe. Going the other way is Dylan. She's played a good game. She'll get the 1-2 here. No, ignored. Kicked the ball forward by Luke, who just slams it forward to centre half forward, hoping that there's somebody there. Watton comes out to meet it. Goes through her legs. Bit too far to bed down. Ball's kicked inside 50. Geelong have the numbers back though. I think that's Goring who's going to mark inside defensive 50. Positioned herself well.
Starting to feel that parochial heat of the Hawthorn Box Hill crowd down here, Neil.
Yes, as you would. Just don't tell them that you know me. That would be my tip. So 1 goal the difference, 30 minutes played, 7 minutes left. It's the Cats by an even goal, 4-6-3-6. And we've got a game on our hands. If the Hawks can kick a goal, it's on for young and old. If the Cats can kick a goal, they will probably win the game. If nobody kicks a goal, the Cats are very, very strongly in favour. Derby takes a screamer. Hello to Grandma having a listen up in the Macedon region, I believe. And hello to Robin and the family. If you're listening, I'm not sure you're here. I haven't seen you today. You're probably having a listen. Derby kicks the ball down, looking for, not looking for Beeson, but finding her.
Well done by Randall.
The Hawks are away.
Took her opponent under the ball there, Randall, allowing Beeson to mark it. Hawthorn again trying to work this switch. They haven't really got one through for a while. Numbers with Geelong here. They should be able to score out of this. They've got a free player. Well done by Dowler. No, she's giving away the free kick. I thought she did well in holding her opponent up. But it's going to be a free kick to Geelong.
So we'll see the big players from Geelong coming down to the goal square, even if they can punch the ball through for a behind at this stage of the game. 6 minutes left to play. You'd think that the play is that who's it that's got the ball?
That'd be Kerrick.
Beg your pardon. Too far out to score, you'd think, but with a bit of assistance, this could be the score that the Cats want.
Darby and Boyd jostling for position here. Cranston too, so there's a few players that can take a big mark for Geelong in the goal square. I'd expect Kerrick's kick to fall short. She's got a fair bit of it, but it is going to fall short. Cranston, almost marked it, probably should have. Keeps the ball in play. Van der Heuvel in trouble. Ball comes out back to Darby. Thought about a snap, then thought about a handball, and that was smothered too. A good tackle there by Van der Heuvel on Beeson, and we're going to have a ball up right in the pocket. Geelong, any score will probably do, as they say, with 5 minutes to play. It's hard to see Hawthorn kicking 2 goals. 6 points to margin. Watton taps it away. Probably her goal. Get back to Watton. She kicks it, and that's going to go out on the full.
Yes, it will. Important kick now for the Cats. You'd think 2.5 kicks out from goal at least. What do? Do they try and find something short or boom it inside 50?
I think just try and find it in short. I think that's more of a guarantee to get at least a decent shot on goal. I think I haven't seen many goals kicked from outside 50 this season so far.
Kick to the hot spot. Darby didn't fly at it for Geelong. She was the tallest player down there. Picking it up with Sibley. Gets a kick away. Geelong have all the numbers here though, so it should come back. Smothered kick inside 50. Beeson's tackled as she tried to kick it away. Coming through Cranston. Can she find space? Yes, she can. It's going to wobble and hit the post.
Tell you what, she was going to have, if that went through, that was a third attempt at the Bonnie. We'd give her the Bonnie anyway, I think, wouldn't we? So it's the Cats by 7 points now, 4 and a bit minutes to play. The Hawks need a goal and they need it urgently. 4-7-31, Hawthorn 3-6-21. Free kick paid to the Hawks. So it's Tamara Luke, who was everywhere in the first quarter, and she needs to get a wriggle on and get the ball forward. Plenty of one-on-ones in front of them. That's a good kick, but it's going to be cut off in front. That's a great mark. Who's that?
Rankin, that'll be.
Rankin, and umpire says, hang on, what's going on? Okay, so he's saying take it back. So Rankin with the ball on the wing. She goes inboard. Dangerous kick if it doesn't come off, and it doesn't. So the ball ends up in the hands of the Hawks. Good tackle, though, by the Cats coming the other way. Cranston doing some of her better work. Big kick inside 50 now. Derby coming one way. Hawks player coming the other. That would be possibly Sibley, it is, and the ball out of bounds forward pocket. A little bit of a how do you do. A little bit of a how about we catch up at the Blackburn Hotel just up the road shortly. I can't say them anymore. They used to be our sponsors last year, but they're not for us. Oh, we're at the Mount Moriac.
Yes.
A bit far to go to the Mount Moriac from here.
Yes, well, I'm sure the Cats players were going to spend their Top Cat awards and check out the renovations.
They've had some renovations out there, I believe. So ball tap, it's just inside the 50 for the Cats. We've got 3 minutes to play. You'd think the Cats are in a good position to win, particularly now if McDonald gets the ball over the back. There's a player down, Darby down, but she's getting back up again, which is good news. Hand pass out to Cranston. She spent it before she had it. Darby on the ground, umpire letting the play go on around, and good mark taken in defence, and that's by the player in Raiden.
But Darby just getting back to her feet. She looks okay. Hutchins will run it out for Hawthorn. Out to Dowler.
Might have had the wind taken out of her, I think, in a marking contest. She's running, and so she's okay, Grandma, don't panic.
Oh, O'Donnell marked on the second bite over on the wing, but Geelong have set up defence quite well.
Good work.
There's nowhere really to go forward.
Van Dijk, I think, with the ball now, so she'll use it well. 2 minutes 20 to play.
Punched away, that inboard kick. It'll come back towards Van Dijk. Going to have to get a move on. O'Donnell is just going to have to snap it down the line. That'll find a player. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Brilliant defence coming back with the flight.
That was Kerrick. Could have easily infringed and given away a free kick, but didn't.
Magnificent.
That's ordinary.
Players diving in after it on the outer wing. Handball out. It's kept alive, kicked along the line, and that's going to go out on the full. So Hawthorn have a chance to reload here. They've got 2 minutes, so they have to move it extremely quickly. and the ball goes over the fence.
The Hawthorn supporter are sprinting across the car park to get the ball. Elise, what would you do if you are the Hawthorn coach now? Panic? Pray?
Sigh?
Panic, pray, start tearing hair out. No.
He hasn't got a lot to tear out, the great man. So Mark taken on the wing. 1.5 minutes left to play. Good work by Tamara Luke. Gets it now off to the player there. I think that might have been Diet. Ball inside 50, running onto a Dowler, can't find the handle on it. Rolls out of bounds. She's got the touch of the I Dream of Genies about her haircut, hasn't she? Got that. She's at least 6 inches taller if you take in the height factor of her ponytail. Minute to play. Cats by 7. Can't see the Hawks getting up from here, but footy's a funny game, as they like to say.
Need a 7-point play to draw it.
They do. So the ball tapped down by the Hawks, but good work by McDonald to get the ball, but it's going to come straight back. Looks like it's Pereira with the ball. Gets it off to a teammate now in row. Row your boat. Ball inside 50. Tapped down that time by Dowler. Kicked around the body and a mark almost taken. Not quite taken. Crowd says it to Mark. Umpire says, you don't know what you're talking about.
Great defensive effort by that player down there.
30 seconds left.
Eric.
She's all over Rover. Robert Cameron, look at trying to get one of those Cats players when they're coming off the ground. If you wouldn't mind, you might have to be out there a bit early because where they walk off the ground, we might lose reception. So 15 seconds left to play. It's the Cats by 7 points. They're going to win the game today. And Elise waving to her fan club.
Just a brilliant Ninja Turtle made out of balloons in front of us. This is fantastic work by the...
There's the siren. So in the last quarter, the Cats have kicked the only goal. 4 goals, 7, 31, defeating the Hawks 3-6, 24. That's a 7-point win to the Cats. Who are our goal kickers, please? Josh Barnes.
Goal kickers for Hawthorn, Tamara Luke and Rosie Dillon. And then Claire O'Donnell kicked their third and final goal. And for Geelong, Sophie van der Heuvel, Madison Maguire, 1 each, and 2 to Rocky Cranston. 2 spectacular goals and crucial goals as it turned out for the Cats.
So we've got the great man Brad David out there as well. Bradley Mullins, he's the man leading the charge. Robert Cameron just holding off nicely and showing good manners. And we'll see who Bradley gets. Go and interview Brad, that'll be fun.
I'll give that a whirl.
Yeah, just see how he goes while you're waiting for the players. Yeah, Brad Mullins is the man's name. So Rob Cameron walking up behind him.
So get up.
Oh, no, he's lost the microphone.
I think he panicked.
G'day, Bradley. He's giving us the salute. That's all good. You're getting a little bit dangerous in terms of how far away you are, Rob, so I think you might need to drag someone aside a little bit.
I'm intending to if I can get the one I want.
Do, honey, the one that I want. A little bit of grease there for you. So, Elise, we wait, obviously, to speak to the players that are coming this way, but just a dominant performance by 1 or 2 players in particular.
Yeah, that's right. Just those burst goals from just those goals from Rocky Cranston. I felt like...
No, you'll be fine. Part of you.
So, Rob, you've obviously...
Guys, I've got Jamie Woolett here, and she's been sensational all year, but particularly today. Jamie, congratulations on the win. Was that the best game of footy you've ever played? One I've seen.
It felt pretty good beating the team that beat us last year in the grand final. Yeah, we had a fresh bunch of girls, so it was really good. Very strong defensive unit today, a lot of run and confidence out of the group. You sort of led that as you have all year. Is that something you've really been working on as a group? It has, and we've had a lot of AFL girls missing that usually play back line, so a few girls have stepped up, and I think we're getting better as a unit. So,
Upstairs might have a question for you.
Jamie, it's Neil up here in the game. It just seemed to be a really open game of footy, a bit different to certainly last week's game.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Yeah, Hawthorn are a great opposition. They look to switch the ball a lot, which does open up the game, but we shut that down, I think, pretty well. So, yeah, we kept them from not doing that.
We better say thank you because your teammates are walking off and you'll be the last one to get a drink. So thanks for joining us on Go Footy Live. Rob, you can tie things up.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. I just wanted to congratulate you again. I'll just say at three-quarter time you had a really good feel like you could run over them, even though they were quite physical through the game.
Yeah, they definitely were. Bigger bodies, very strong, very tall. But, yeah, we did better, I guess. Better team on the day, so it's good.
Congratulations and very well done. Excellent performance.
Thank you.
Run. So Jamie Willett, last off the ground, Rob Cameron holding her up. Well done, Rob. Good interview and a good get, I would have thought.
Yeah, had to coerce her a little bit there, Rob.
Yeah, very shy girl. She said, "Oh no, don't get me. I don't like talking."
Yeah, and you said, "Neither do I."
Neither do I.
I hate it. Never met a microphone I don't like, says Rob Cameron. We are at the 22 minutes past 1. That means we have got about 40 minutes before game time. So what we're going to do, apart from bashing my knee on the table as I sit down, is we're going to hear from our sponsors. We're going to come back and talk about some awards. Then we're going to change over to VFL football from VFLW as we get away from the great man Philip Behan, the scoreboard operator here at Box Hill City Oval. This is GoFooty.live. We are live from Box Hill City Oval. It is the Cats by 7 points over the Hawks in the VFLW.